Welcome back to Trauma to Soul. This is Love Addiction Part 6 with Mandy. You can find us on the web at traumatosoul.com and on Instagram at Trauma to Soul. We're going to talk about asking for help, self-validation versus external validation, and looking for that virtual hug. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
I think one of the hardest things to do as an addict is to ask for help. And I remember step 4, which is the moral inventory. It took me like 2 months of hard writing, and you have to express that to somebody. You have to do your confession of that. And I remember asking someone from group, and I was like, listen, I have this like world of shame and pain and hurt, and I need to tell somebody about it. Would you be willing to listen for like an hour? And I was expecting a bad reaction because I hate asking for help. And this woman was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. Like, next meeting, come sit with me. And I was like, awesome. And for me, it was such an important lesson because you can ask for help. You can reach out. Don't smother people. Don't expect people to save you. Right. But you can ask for help. And I think a lot of people that come from trauma and come from abuse, we were the saviors of the family. There was a great deal of expectation on us. There was a great deal of you will sort this out because you're the only like stable one in the family, and you will make sure that our emotions and our feelings are taken care of at all times. And then you get into the space of, well, I can't ask for help. I can't ask people to help me because I'm that person. I'm the one that they come to for help. So if I'm not that person, what do they do? And I had to stop that. I had to stop that completely and be like, COVID, for one, this year has taught me the power of gratitude and the fact that I had to reach out and be like, hey, I'm kind of in a pickle here and I don't know what to do. Can you help me? And it is incredibly humbling that I was received in such a loving way and helped in such a loving way, and how people's reactions were like, wow, you're asking for help? Like, are you serious? What? Like, did I read this right? Can I call you? Is something wrong?
The whole universe is off its axis. Mandy's
exactly.
Reaching out.
Like, oh my God, no, what the hell? And it was, I was very fortunate in the fact that I didn't have, a blowback from anyone like, I can't fucking help you. I'm trying to help myself. Like, that's what I was expecting. Yeah. And it was so nice to have people go, yeah, sure. What do you need? And I was like, oh, wow. It's that easy? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, because you've never known it, exactly. And you whatever experience you had, you knew that wasn't allowed. Yes. So you just think it's never allowed. And then when you do it, there's a huge surprise. I know asking for help for me is still any kind of weakness, any kind of neediness, any kind of help, any kind of vulnerability. I revert to a helpless child. I don't know how to ask for help, be needy or vulnerable, and still feel manly. I don't know how to do it. And that's probably the lesson going forward for me, or the thing I need to work on the most, is expressing and being me and still feeling worthy of being a man. And I
think that comes down to a definition of being a man, because I think, and this is also a human thing. There is strength in weakness. And I think we live in a society that doesn't want to confront weakness. We don't want to see it. That's why Facebook and Instagram is full of all the highlight reels. Yeah. Nobody's going to post on their status, Jesus, I feel like shit, and I hope my life ends. Nobody posts that because
should I not
you're
be
not
doing
going to
that?
get many likes.
I feel
I'm feeling very vulnerable today. Can someone give me a hug? Like, fuck you with social distancing.
Right.
You have to look at your definition of what a man is. For me, and I love the term conscious man. And I see it more and more in the online material that I'm reading, where people are talking about conscious men, which seems to be taking a little bit away from that manly man. I've got to be a man. No, you got to be a conscious man, and you've got to be a conscious woman. And people come together when they're in weakness, and people come together when they're in strength. So when you come together with someone in strength, you probably nail it. But when it comes to the weakness part, you got to nail that.
Right. Right. I think, you know, for me, it's about attention. Whenever I feel, so if I'm feeling shitty about myself and I feel like I need outside mirroring, some kind of attention, when that happens, I will go so far away from asking for help, putting myself out there. There's that's that fine line. Like I could never put a picture up on social media going, I just need a virtual hug. Like, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't shamelessly ask for,
I dare you to do that.
I got at least a couple of months of hard work before I even get fucking close to imagining the possibility of that. But that's where I think a lot of people start shaming themselves. Like,
yes,
you know, I see people who do things are just constantly doing it for attention. I see people who are doing stuff for healing. I see people who are doing stuff to connect. Whenever I feel like I know me, I know when it triggers in me, when it hits me, it's like, oh, I'm empty. I don't have the strength or the energy to fill myself up, to validate myself. So I'm going to go create something that's going to cause me to get some attention.
Yes.
Soon as I feel that, that's it. The phone gets thrown away.
Amen.
And I go do something else. But it's kind of like, I see the phone over there. It's calling me.
This is your beeping light.
I need to know that I'm okay with at least one human in the world, you know?
Yes.
So I think it's justifying the need for reaching out or putting yourself out there, because if it's about attention to fill me up, the first thing I do is I shut the door. Where I think if you can get to a place where it's like not all or nothing, you know what I mean?
Yes. That's exactly what you mean.
I know when I'm emotionally weak. I know when I need to be filled up, and I feel like I'm using people to do the work that I should be doing myself. And when it feels that way, I can't ask for help. But I think the next time that comes up, I think I need to reach out just to break this really shitty pattern and cycle.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's so interesting because I've seen so much online about social, like social is the devil, blah, blah, blah. And I'm a social freak. I love social. And I think it's the way you use it, and exactly what you've just said. If I'm reaching out or I'm posting something, I was speaking to a friend about it the other day, and she was saying, that's an energy. You are creating that energy. So what you're putting out into the world is an energy. So I think when you post something, when you write something, when you share something, if it comes from a place of good energy, if it comes from an authentic place, you're going to create more of that energy. If it comes from this place of I'm desperate and I'm needy, it's going to create more of that energy. So you should feel comfortable enough to reach out, and you should feel comfortable enough to be like, this is how I'm feeling. I mean, I have a friend that I message her, and I'm like, God, I feel like crap. Say something nice to me. And she's like, you're so amazing, you're so wonderful. I'm like, thanks. There's nothing wrong with getting, because I think people get confused between ego and soul. You know, if somebody says, I know the difference between somebody blowing smoke up my ass and somebody being genuine, and we all do, we all have that capacity. So when somebody compliments you or somebody says something nice about you, you know, the abused little girl in me is like, no, I'm bad. Nobody loves me. I can't believe that. And now I've reached a stage where I'm like, you know what? You're actually right. Like, I fucking kicked ass and it was cool. And that's not an ego thing. That's a soul thing. You know, that's me creating energy and connecting with someone else's energy, and we recreate more of that energy. And that's fantastic.
That's awesome. I agree. Like, I would never, the last time I reached out to a friend and said, say something nice about me, he's like, you're a fucking douchebag, shut up. So
you need new friends.
I need new friends. But I agree. There's points where there is a difference. And I think that's the hard part for me, or has been the hard part, is I know when I'm needy and I know I'm going to be alone for a couple of days. So I want to put something out there for attention. And then there's the other times where it is the energy, where I was in the park last week and the sun was going down over the buildings and it was reflecting on my eyes. My son said I looked like a cyborg, the way the sun crystallized on half of my face. And the thing was, I was alone and I had nobody to share it with. And I was like, wow, I think this is so cool. So that was a good place of energy. And it wasn't a lonely place. Like I used to have that when I first got divorced and I was with my kids, when they're little, they do all these great things. And you're like, hey, you turn around and you're like, hey, did you see what he did? And then you're like, oh, fuck, nobody's here.
Exactly.
So for me, then it would be like, I would put that on social just because it was like, I needed somebody else to share that with. It was more of, hey, this is kind of cool. Look what this kid did. I love kids. So they do stuff like that. And versus the other part of it where it's like, no, I'm lonely. I'm worthless. Nobody wants to be with me. I got nothing going on. So you know what? Let me write something really creative or take a really nice picture so people tell me how great I am for 30 minutes. And then I can, they'll self-soothe me and I can go back to my day.
Yeah, and I can obsessively check how many likes and comments I received, because that's going to validate my existence. Like, to me, like, I promise you, if I put something out, like I had a friend of mine who said to me like, oh, I never post anything on social. And I was like, why? And she was like, oh, because, what if I don't get enough likes and comments? And I was like, wow,
Right.
Who the fuck cares? Like, if you're going to put something out, to me, and especially as a writer, if one human being has been touched by my words, fuck yes, that's a win. Like, I don't care about 200,000 likes and comments and follows. If I've touched one person with good energy, that is a win.
Right. Part of me wishes they would take away the likes on Instagram and stuff, just to kind of level the playing field a little bit. Because here's the thing, like, I wrote something last week and I put it up, and I feel like I've creatively help me out.
Creatively.
Wow. Just lost my tongue there. I've dried up because so much of the pain I've exercised out through the podcast and the writing, right? So like I said before, I'm entering this new place and I'm so not comfortable in this skin. I'm not comfortable writing about it. I'm like ashamed to put it out there. Like I'm actually afraid. And all of a sudden something came to me. It's like, holy shit, I haven't had anything come to me in weeks. I'm like, this is like, so do you ever write something and you're like actually impressed that it was given to you?
Yes, definitely. And that's spirit channeling through you. I truly believe that.
I'm like, I don't know where this came from. I had no idea I knew this. I don't know how these words formed in this order to make complete sense, to dissect this emotional confusion that's been in my head since I'm 11. Like, holy shit, this is amazing. I write it up, I post it, it just laid fucking flat. The first thing in a month that I was actually excited to post it, I'm like, is it too deep? Is it not as good as I thought? Does nobody like this? What the fuck? Like, I thought this was like mind-blowing to me. And I'm like, I'm living on my own island over here. And then I wrote something that was like, I haven't posted anything in a while. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And I just put it up. It was nothing. It was just the throw off the top of my head. The fucking thing blew up. And I was like, here it goes. If I like it, I'm getting nothing. If I actually hate it, I was partially embarrassed to post it because I didn't feel like it was good enough, smart enough, intuitive enough, deep enough. And I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm just throwing it out. People loved it. I was like, oh my God, my pulse is not on the fucking finger of Instagram.
No, you know what? I have felt the same. And can I actually tell you that I've actually worked out that a lot of these social platforms work on an algorithm.
They do.
So you have to remember as well that you're putting out something and it might not be seen as much as it could be. It might be the wrong time. You might have the wrong hashtags. Like, there's so many other factors to why something bombs, where something, because that's happened to me as well. I'm like, oh God, I got to post today. What should I say? Like, one line of something I'm pretty sure someone's heard 50,000 fucking times.
Right.
And I posted, and then everyone's like, oh my God, it's amazing. And I'm like, really? Like, did you see the post before where I went completely in depth into soul? Did you see that one?
Right.
Like,
yeah, but I didn't get that.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Oh no, I didn't see that one, and I'm like, fuck, thanks algorithm. So it's also that plays into it as well.
It is, because I mean, my account, I got banned a couple of months ago, or about a year ago.
So did I.
And you did too?
Yeah, I did.
And the funny thing is, ever since that, when I post something, there's like this big pause before people see it, because I have another account where I just put photos on it. I'll put a photo up and the likes come in instantly.
Yeah.
I put words on this account and there's like this huge delay. Sometimes it's a half an hour. So,
yeah.
And sometimes Instagram will give me some love and they'll be like, you know what, we're going to put him top on this hashtag.
Exactly.
And then it's like, oh my God, it's like, wow, people like this. And it's like, no, they just really promoted it. Because then you'll look and, 8,000 people saw it or whatever the number is. And then you look at the next post and it's like 9 saw it. And it's like, well, it was the same hashtag. It was kind of the same artwork. There wasn't, like, what's
exactly. What's so much of a difference?
You're at their mercy of how they want to do it.
It's true. It's true. And I see it. I mean, I saw there was a social media influencer and she was talking about Jay Shetty. And I see his stuff all the time. Jay Shetty is like on my feed constantly. And she was talking about the fact that they are promoting certain accounts because Absolutely. They want certain messaging to go out. So you could understand that, when you're coming from this place of authenticity and you want to share something. I mean, I love Jay Shetty's stuff. I do. But I do feel like he piggybacks off everyone else's stuff. So he talks about stuff, this person said, okay, but what does Jay Shetty say? Like, what are his words? So but it is, again, it's that algorithm. And that's why you can't get hung up on the comments and the likes. And that's what I've realized. I'm putting it out there. Who is meant to see it will see it. And that's just it. For me, the art of it is in the creation. Yeah. The art of it is having that moment. And I've had so many of them myself where you're like, I didn't write this. Where did this come from? Yeah. Like it doesn't feel like you. And Elizabeth Gilbert actually speaks a lot about it, how you are channeling spirit. You are channeling from another realm. I believe it. Because some of the stuff I've written, I'm like, that didn't come from me.
It's weird. It's like a gift. It's like you're the messenger. It just comes.
Yes.
It comes in. It goes through my fingers and then it's out there. And that when it flows like that, there's a oneness to it.
Absolutely.
As you're writing it, everything in the universe completely clicks. You are one with yourself and your thoughts and your soul, and the words come out. And it's like that moment when all the words assemble in your body. If I can hold that feeling the rest of my life, forget it. I wouldn't need another thing on the planet. It is the most centered. And when that goes away, I haven't had that go away in 5 years until this past 2 months. And then it's like, what a realization. It's like, well, what am I now? What am I if I don't have this? Like, I've been writing since DNA, that's the way I've coped with life. And if it's gone, is it time to leave this? And then it was now the arc is now happening towards the other side of the writing. It's less about being the darkness and the pain. It's more about below that where there's the joy and the goodness and the feelings that you want to get to. I can talk confidently and competently and easily about pain and trauma and depression and self-hate. But you get me talking about love and acceptance and validation, I'm like, forget it. I have no vocabulary for it at all. That's why I think Instagram's burying my stuff. They're like, this guy's just too fucking painful. Nobody wants to see this shit. Let's bury him on page 9. Okay, that wraps up part 6 of Love Addiction. We'll be back next time with part 7. Hope you have a great week. Talk to you soon.